Hi and welcome to Fluff Up. On this video, I will show you how I made 3 versions of Max, the dog from the Grinch movies. The one from the 1966 movie, the live-action one, and the 2018 one. The first step was making a wireframe for each Max. It's like making a very basic stick figure sketch. Not focusing on any details, just making it sturdy so it can stand and hold poses. I also wrap the wire with floral tape, so that the wool sticks to it and it becomes a lot easier to felt over it. Once I was happy with the frames, I began adding more layers of wool so that I can build up the shape of each of the dogs. I also added extra wires for tails and ears. I always forget those details when I make the frames, but I caught it at a good time so it was easy to add them in. Because of how thin the 1966 Max is, I began adding his color early, so that the white wool won't peek through. And I got that color by mixing 2 wools, one mustard yellow and one beige. I used pet brushes to mix the fibers together until I get the shade that I want. I ended up adding wire for their jaws too. I wanted more options for poses and expressions, so I decided to add them before it became too complicated. The way I felt small or thin details is to use very small amounts of wool and twist it in my fingers. That makes it easier for the needle to pick up and makes them easier to control. That way you can keep lines thinner and more precise. And if you make any mistakes, you can pull on the strand and start over. I thought the 1966 Max would be the easiest one, but he was actually really tough to make because in every frame he appears, he just looks a little different. So it was really hard to capture a 3D version of what he should look like. But I still did my best to capture the Dr. Seuss style of Max. I built up the shape of the faces slowly so that I could get the main structure, and then use that reference to shape the eyes, the nose, and all the little details. Some of these mixed wools won't look as good when laid flat, unless you add a lot of layers, which would help mix it further. Or if you do what I did for this project, which is to felt the fibers halfway through the strand so that they stand up like actual animal fur. That makes the color variation look natural and intentional. Getting the shade for the 2018 Max was a lot more complicated. I did a lot of tries with brown wool, but it usually came out too dark, and eventually I settled with a mix of beige wool, red, and orange. I am going to blame the animators of the 2018 movie for the fact that I had to make teeth for one of the Maxes. I did it by laying a long piece of white wool and separating it into individual teeth with strands of black wool. It took forever and it looked weird for most of the process, but he just didn't look right without them. Then I added pink wool for the tongue, and that really made him look a lot more like the Max in the movie. I added brown wool to the mix for the ears and the stripes on his body. I debated giving them antlers, but then realized they only use them while actively stealing Christmas. And since I'm no bad banana with greasy black peel, I decided against it. And instead, I bought them a tree to decorate. And made them some dog-safe hot cocoa for them to enjoy. And this is my Max Christmas scene. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please like the video and subscribe if you want to see my future projects.